Okay. Hi, I'm Sean Lynn. I'm here with Vince Tremblay. We're down in Montreal at Crossfit Capop. Today we're going to go over a strength movement on rings called a forward roll. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you the progressions and the drills to build up to that skill. We're going to put all those progressions and drills together to do the full movement of the forward roll. First thing we're going to do today is we're going on rings. We need to develop our stability on rings. So what I'm going to have Vince do is, when he's ready, he's going to jump up on the rings. He's going to hold in support position and work on turning those rings out to get the strength of ring stability. Ready? So Vince is going to jump down to the rings, right in the middle. He's going to stay nice and tall. He's going to maintain a nice hollow body position. The goal is head forward, neutral position. From here, we want to develop the strength on the rings. He's going to turn those rings out and hold those rings turned out. 5-10 seconds at a time, turning them back in, building up that endurance, building up that strength, stability, turning them out again. Stay maintaining very tight. His active shoulders are pushing down, and he's very strong here. He's going to jump down now. Good. When learning a new gymnastics movement, we're going to need a few elements. We're going to make sure we have things that are being safe. We don't have any barbells around here. The equipment, the space is clear. We're being safe. We have a mat in case we fall. We're doing a new skill. We're going inverted on the rings. You also need a spotter. You need someone to help you through those movements as you learn them. When an athlete shows confidence of the ability and shows good form, you take the spot away, but still maintain the mat until they have full control of the skill. Every time you train, always have that safety net, always have a nice clean area to work with, so you're always safe. If you have an athlete that isn't able to properly support themselves on the rings, you need to develop that strength first before moving on to any other step in the progression of forward rolls. Now, one good technique or one good tool for that is using a band to help with those rings. The goal is these rings, they're unstable, they want to move away from you. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a band in between the rings and we're going to put tension on them, the same width as Vince's shoulders. Vince is going to grab on here, lock his hand down on the band. He's going to jump up to his support in a nice hollow body position. When he does that, that band will help with that stability movement and help condition his shoulders and his strength to hold that position. So Vince, he's going to jump up there. He's going to stay nice and tall, his eyes forward, still maintaining the nice hollow body position. From here, that band is helping him control those rings. There, he can work on turning those rings out, holding, maintaining that control, coming back in, and again, turning them out, working on developing the strength of the shoulder, strength in the arms, always active shoulders down. So hold, 2, 1, come on down. When an athlete has developed that strength, take the band away, put them up there without any assistance. Okay. So the next progression and the next drills, we're going to work on our ring strength, or we're going to work on our ring dip. And we're going to work on that ring dip with having those rings turned slightly open. Because we need to develop that strength. When you do a forward roll around those rings, you need to finish it by pressing out at the top. So what Vince is going to do is he's going to mount the rings. We're going to practice turning those rings out a little bit, nice deep dips, and pushing through. We're going to do that 3 times. He's going to jump up. Once again, nice hollow body position. He's going to turn those rings open a little bit. He's going to go down to a nice deep dip. He's going to hold. Then he's going to press it out. Nice and strong, keeping those rings turned out. And again, taking the time. He's going to go down, nice and lower down. Nice strong body. And then press it out. One last time. He's going to go down. He's going to hold here. He's going to open up those rings a little bit. This is going to be important for later on. And then he's going to press it out again. Good, take a break. Doing ring dips like that, nice, slow and controlled, will build up your strength. If you go fast, you're going to lose your form, and you'll be very sloppy, and you won't properly develop your strength for this movement or for ring strength in general. We've established Vince is strong enough for ring stability. He has a very strong ring dip. We're going to work on the next progression for the forward roll on the rings, and that's rolling over the rings. But we're going to work on the safety element. We're going to learn how to control that ability to stay centered in the rings and safely exit, just in case we miss. Also, it's going to develop his spatial awareness and his ability to control his body and maintain in the middle of the rings in that nice balanced position. So what's going to happen is Vince is going to mount on the rings. He's going to go into a nice tuck position first, bring his knees to his chest. He'll pivot, bring his shoulders down, lift his hips up a little bit. Here we're going to pause for a sec. He has to open up those rings. He's turning them out because he needs to go through them. This is very important. Once he turns it out, he's going to slowly lower down through, keeping his hips in the center, keeping that nice controlled position. The rings are still turned out. His chin is looking in at his belly button, and he's staying nice and balanced. And then he's going to exit. So he's going to exit forward, safely to that. We're going to do that again. It's very important. Lower through those rings. When you do that, you must open those rings out because you have to pass through them. Ready? Let's do that again. So he's going to go nice support position. Take his time. Control that top position. Tip his shoulders up. Lift his hips up. He's going to stop. Open those rings up. And then lower straight down through. Keeping his hips nice and centered in those rings. And then down. It's good. Now he's demonstrated to me he's able to do this comfortably. I'm going to take a step back from the spotting. He's going to do it one more time. If he shows control, we'll move to the next progression of this movement. You ready? Okay, so let's mount up there. Nice tuck position. Hips up a little bit, shoulders there, and he's going to go straight down. He's going to control his movement, and then exit. Good job. Establish a nice roll through the rings. We've established balancing on the rings. We have to now practice getting a false grip as we pass underneath those rings. And that's just developing that ability from a regular support grip. As you pass underneath the rings and go underneath and around, you have to learn how to loosen up your grip and get a nice false grip as you come underneath. So a nice drill to do is practice. You're putting your hand in the middle of the rings and just practice rolling your wrist over a little bit. So right now I'm catching on my wrist. Here I'm on my hand and catching on my wrist. Because as you go down underneath those rings, you have to catch that false grip and then return. So practice going through the rings and catching that nice false grip and return. What we're going to do is we're going to combine that element of sliding that hand over and catching the wrist in the false grip to the roll through we did earlier. Vince is going to mount the rings. He's going to tuck position, roll through. As he does that, catching a nice false grip and stay underneath the rings very close in a nice tuck position. You ready? So he's going to jump up, let's mount, nice hollow body, tuck position. He's going to tip his shoulders down, lift his hips up, turn those rings out. The goal here is, as he passes through, he catches his false grip. He's holding in a nice false grip position. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and now safely exit those rings. We're developing that ability to stay close to the rings as we're on top and as we go underneath while holding that false grip. We're going to do it one more time. He's going to jump up, tuck position, go down, open those rings out. As he comes down, he's going to slide his wrists over to catch that nice false grip. He's going to hold very close to the rings, 1, 2, 3, and then exit. To develop your strength to go from the bottom of the rings and transition over to the top of the rings. It's the exact same transition you're going to use in a muscle up. I know Jeff Tucker, he has a great progression going from the knees, working on the transition of that muscle up. What we're going to do now is we're going to take that to the next level and we're going to build up our endurance. So we take our hands in the middle of the rings, we're going to get our false grip from the middle, so slide that wrist over, and one drill you want to work on is that strict strength, and to get from the bottom of the rings to the top of the rings, especially in a forward roll, is you have to learn how to pull it in, you have to work in that transition, and then going back and work in that transition several times, keeping those rings in tight to the body. If you loosen up, you will fall, and we want to see a nice smooth transition every single time, so you develop your strength to go from the bottom to the top, and then pressing out for a nice support position. We've worked on all the progressions, we've developed Vince's strength to be able to put all these things together, all these elements required. Let's do the full movement. So he's going to go up, go underneath the rings, back up, and finish at the top again for a nice forward roll on rings. Alright, here we go. Sit up and push it out. Good, we're going to do that again. Tuck his knees in, nice tuck position, roll down, go through, get that false grip, sit up, and lock it out. Excellent work.